This video is about how to sketch the graph. Look at the A. Consider the function f of x equals 27 over x squared minus 16x. Write down the domain and a vertical asymptote of f. We know this is a rational function. For rational function 1 over x, the domain will be x not equal to 0. Which means the denominator not equal to 0 to find the domain. For f of x, the denominator is x squared. Therefore, domain we will set up x squared not equal to 0. Square root both sides, we get x not equal to 0. Then the vertical asymptote line will be x equals 0. For B, sketch the graph of y equals f of x. For x is greater than or equal to -4, less than or equal to 3, and y greater than or equal to -50, less than or equal to 100. The word sketch. What's the difference between draw and sketch? For IB exam, sometimes you need to draw a graph. Sometimes you need to sketch the graph. Sketch a graph means make a general graph with the key points. Key points means x and y intercepts, local minimums and local maximums, and asymptotes noticeable. Draw a graph. Besides making a general graph with the key points and the asymptotes noticeable, accurately plot as many points as possible. When you draw a linear function, you must use a ruler. You can sketch a linear function without a ruler. How to sketch the graph of a function for SL level? Normally, sketch a graph will be 4 marks. The first mark for x is labeled. Sometimes they give you skills, sometimes you decide the skills. And the correct window, that's the first mark. Second mark, go to smooth the curve with a correct general shape with a noticeable asymptote line, if there is any. Third mark for X-intercepts and Y-intercepts. The fourth mark for correct local minimums and local maximums. Let's look at this IB graphing paper. The unit will be centimeters. It is 24 centimeters long and 16 centimeters wide. So how to decide the scale? Because they didn't give you the scale in this problem. We will do this 3 minus -4. You will get 7. We know this one is 16 centimeters. Let's think about this one is -4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This will be 3. Just count the units. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 0. Then use a ruler to draw this x-axis. Remember, label x-axis. Then you will draw this y-axis here. After you draw this y-axis, then let's calculate the scale, because the scale is not given. 100 minus -50, you will get 125. We will use 25 as 1 unit. Make sure -50 and 100 clearly labeled. So this is a 25 and a 50, 75 or 100 here. Label as a 100. -25, -50. This is a 1. Remember the first mark. Go to your label X and Y axis and the correct window. Correct window means the X is between -4 and 3. For Y is between -50 and 100. This is go to the first mark. Then when we go to calculator, you will set up the same window. Go to calculator, put f of x into y1. So go to window. Minimum is -4. Maximum is 3. Scale is 1. We already set up 1 centimeter is 1 unit. For minimum, go to -50. Maximum 100. And scale we set up 25. Then you graph. You could say this is the graph look like. We can work out this 0 now. Second trace, press 2. I will put 0.5 as a left bound. Right bound, let's do 2. Enter, then enter. You will get answer 1.19 as a 3-figure fix. For the minimum point, go to second trace, go to minimum point. This is -1, -2. We can make a -3 as the left bound. And make this is a -0.5 as the right bound. Then enter. You will get -1.5 or 36. This will be the minimum point. Do not forget this asymptote line. $1.19. Let's label here. Just estimate. The minimum point is -1.5 and 36. This is 50. 36, just estimate. You don't have to be accurate. So it will be here. After you decide this vertical asymptote line, X-intercept, and the minimum points, then the graphing calculator give you this shape. Smoothly sketch the graph according to the calculator. Don't touch this asymptote line. For this one, very close to this asymptote line, but never touch. Then the graph will look like this. So make sure when you sketch the graph axis and a window, the smooth graph and asymptote line, if there's any, XY intercepts, local minimum and a maximum. Then for say they ask you what's the zeros. We know that is 1.190. Then for D, find the local minimum points. That is -1.5 or 36. For E, the graph of the function g of x equals 10x plus 40 on the same axis. This is a linear function. For linear function, try to get x-intercept and y-intercept. Especially y-intercept, you have to accurately plot. So g of 0. For every x changing into 0, you will get 40. Set up g of x equals 0 to find the x-intercept. Isolate the variable on one side, so minus 40 both sides. 10x equals negative 40. Divided by 10, you will get x equals negative 4. So we have 0, 40, and negative 4, 0. Let's plot negative 4, 0 is here. 0, 40, this is 25. So this will be 5. 25, here is 30, 35, 40 is here. Then you connect these 2 points. This will be g of x. Try to use a ruler and plot the x-intercept and the y-intercept as accurately as you can. Look at the f. Solve f of x equals g of x. So we put the g of x into graphing calculator to get the intersection. So go to y2, we will put 10x plus 40. Graph. This intersection, second trace, go to intersection 5. Then enter, enter, enter. You will get 0.684, 46.8. X equals 0.684. This will be the solution. For second one, solve f of x greater than or equal to g of x, which means the part of a graph above g of x is the solution. Let's sketch the graph over here. This point is 0.684, 46.8. This is g of x. This too is f of x. So for second one, f of x greater than or equal to g of x means this part and this part. When x less than or equal to 0.684, then the f of x greater than or equal to g of x. This will be x less than or equal to 0.684. For number 3, solve f of x less than g of x. Less than g of x, which means the graph below g of x will be the solution. So this part. This part, it will be when x greater than 0.684. You will get the f of x less than g of x. Because in this way, the f of x will be below g of x. No equal sign, because here is no equal sign. So we write down x less than 0.684.